Welcome to Cook the Math, where culinary art meets mathematical precision. Thank you for joining. We are back with another episode of Dine or DIY, where we take a look at a fast food or restaurant menu item, and we compare it to if you were to buy the ingredients and make them at home. On this episode, you probably already know what it is based on the two shorts that I posted, as well as the community post. We will be looking at the fairly recent item, the Sonic Smasher, aka Sonic Drive-In's attempt at a smash burger, and to compete with the likes of Five Guys, Shake Shack, Freddy's, Culver's, and of course, Smash Burger. Now, for this smash burger that Sonic is making, they are going to be using ingredients similar to other smash burgers, but with a tangy smasher sauce. Other than that, we also have these ingredients: ground beef, American cheese, pickles, diced onions, the smasher sauce, and our potato bun. And as usual, we are going to look at three different columns. The first one will be our total price, and that is the price of that full item. Next up is our dollar per serving, so taking the cost of the item and dividing by how many servings there are. And then, of course, our price per part, or how much does it cost for how much we actually need. So, all these ingredients will be coming from Walmart, and keep in mind that the prices will vary depending on what store you go to, where you are from, and what brand you get. Now, if you take a look at the items, you see a few ingredients that are very similar to the Big Mac, the very first episode I did, and we are going to use the same pricings for the American cheese and pickles, but we're going to do a different thing for the diced onions. Now, the ground beef that we'll be using is similar to the ground beef that we used for the Beefy Melt Burrito episode, which is the roll that you find in the beef department, and that's going to cost $4.94. However, this time we are going to use 16 ounces. For our American cheese, it is the Great Value brand, and that was $1.98 for 16 slices. For our pickles, it is the Great Value brand as well, and that is also $1.98. And that is for about 50 chips. For the diced onions, in our Big Mac episode, we used the frozen diced onions, but here we're going to use the container of them, and that comes to around $2.88 for about 8 ounces, which is about 16 tablespoons, or 1 cup. Now, for the smasher sauce, if you looked at my last two shorts, you can tell that the sauce was fairly orange, and that none of the sauces that I saw at Walmart that specifically claimed that it's a smash burger sauce or just regular burger sauce came close to the proper taste. However, I did manage to find the ingredients for the smasher sauce, and I also happened to find a recipe, which we will do separately in a segment I like to call Side Order. Now, for the smasher sauce recipe, I did find a recipe from Just a Pinch, which used the same exact ingredients, with the minor exception of one of them. For our smasher sauce recipe, it uses mustard, mayo, barbecue sauce, and a little bit of Frank's Red Hot. And similar to our main course, we're splitting them into 3 prices. We have our total price of the item. We have dollar per serving. And then we have dollar per part. Now, the ingredients that are found in the mustard portion of the Smasher sauce matches very accurately with the French's yellow mustard, and that is going to cost $1.78 for about 94 hundredths of a cup. Our mayo, we're just going to use the Great Value mayo, that costs $3.38, or about 3.7 cups. For our barbecue sauce, the ingredients most closely resemble the Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and that is $2.28 for about 28 tablespoons, and you'll see why they are the different measurements in a moment. And then lastly, for Frank's Red Hot sauce, that is $3.64 for 71 teaspoons. Our dollar per serving, we just take our price divided by the servings. So for the mustard is $1.89. Our mayo is 91 cents. Our barbecue sauce is 8 cents. And our Frank's Red Hot is 5 cents. For the dollar per part, we just take the dollar per serving and we multiply it by how much we actually need. So for the mustard, it says the recipe calls for a quarter cup. So we're going to divide this by 4, and that's about 47 cents. For our mayo, we also need a quarter cup of that. So divide this by 4, we get 23 cents. For our barbecue sauce, we just only need a tablespoon of that. So that's 8 cents. And then for our Frank's Red Hot, we only need a teaspoon of that. So that's 5 cents. And adding everything up, it's going to cost about 83 cents. And there wasn't any servings or how many servings because it's several. We're just going to take a rough estimate and say that this is about 9 1/3 tablespoons. Now we can use this for the main course. Back to that. So I was able to add that on there. And now for the potato bun, the only brand of potato buns that I saw were from Brownberry, and that was $3.78 for 8 of them. Now we can do the dollar per serving. As with the Smasher sauce, we're going to take the price and divide it by the servings. So for our dollar per serving, it's going to cost 31 cents. Our American cheese is going to cost 12 cents per slice. The pickles is going to cost 4 cents per pickle chip. Our diced onions is going to be 18 cents per tablespoon. Our Smasher sauce is going to be about 9 cents per tablespoon. And then our potato bun is going to be 47 cents, which we can also use for our dollars per part, since we only need 1 bun. Speaking of which, for our dollar per part, we just take the servings and multiply it by how many parts. In this case, Sonic does have 2 variants. We are going to use the double Smasher, which costs about $6.59. So for the ground beef, each patty is roughly about 3 ounces. Since we're using 2 patties, that's going to be a total of 6 ounces. So multiplying this by 6, it turns out to be $1.86 for about 2 3-ounce patties. Our American cheese, we need 2 slices, so that's going to be 24 cents. For our pickles, it showed that there were 4 pickle slices, so that's going to be 16 cents. Our diced onions, we can say that's roughly about 2 tablespoons, so that's 36 cents. For the Smasher sauce, I would say they also use about 2 tablespoons, so 18 cents. And then we already have our potato bun. And adding all of this up, we can see that it would cost $3.27. That means, if we compare that to how much the Sonic Smasher would cost, it would be $3.32 cheaper to make. So you're probably asking, well, hold on, there's 2 variants. What does the price of the triple Sonic Smasher look like compared to how much it costs to make it? So let's do that as well. We are going to use a different color. Now the triple Sonic Smasher is $7.59. So it's $1 more to add a patty. And if we do the math on that, the only two things that will change is the ground beef and the American cheese. Everything else stays the same. So this one we need 3 3-ounce patties, and that's going to cost $2.79. And then for our cheese, we need 3 slices of cheese, and that will cost 36 cents. So adding those to our regular list, that would cost about $4.32, which, doing the math, it would actually cost $3.27 cheaper to make. Literally the cost of actually making the double smasher at home. And you can also kind of see that it's half the cost for the $1 per part to make it at home as compared to the Sonic Smasher if you were to get it right at Sonic. However, when we add these up, we have to keep in mind that this is not the actual Smasher sauce. We have to add the ingredients from the Smasher sauce, which is our mustard, mayo, barbecue sauce, and Frank's Red Hot. And when we do that, this would cost $11.08 to make, meaning that if you were to take everything down, including that $11.08, it would cost $26.64, which I think is very expensive to get all these ingredients to make the Smasher burgers. Now, the next thing that you might be thinking is, I am way too lazy to actually make a burger sauce. I would like to have one pre-prepared. Is there any close alternatives? At first, when I was doing the research for this, in my shorts, none of the sauces that I purchased worked. However, I did turn to one surprising thing that Walmart had that I was not expecting to taste pretty close to the actual Smasher sauce, even though it may not be the right color, and that is Walmart's French fry sauce. And that French fry sauce is $2.28 for about 24 tablespoons. So we can see how much it's going to cost for 2 tablespoons by doing some cross multiplication. In other words, $2.28 times 2, divide that by 4, and that gets you to about 19 cents, which is only 1 cent more than if you were to just make the ingredients and use that 2 tablespoon portion. So comparing the homemade, which was $26.64, if you were to get all the ingredients at the store and just get the French fry sauce and instead of having to get all the 4 ingredients that you need for the Smasher sauce, the pre-made, I will call it, is going to cost about $9 less, $17.84. So you can absolutely use the French fry sauce as kind of a small alternative because the ingredients are fairly close, with the small exception of some hot sauce and some barbecue sauce. There is also a French fry sauce that has pretty much nearly all the ingredients. However, it did use red jalapenos instead of the hot sauce, so it might have been a little bit spicy, and some portions of the ingredients maybe use more than what the Smasher sauce uses. All in all, though, I do think that the Sonic Smasher is probably Sonic's best burger that they made. I would definitely get that over their regular burgers any day, even if the double cheeseburger from Sonic is only $2 at this time. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the Smasher Burger. If you have any other suggestions on what I should do next, make sure to comment that below as well. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and keep on cooking and calculating.